Black Ops Cold War. It's finally here, and it's finally time to jump into some new content for a new year of support. With the game launching globally at midnight wherever you are locally in the world, and then 9 p.m. Pacific time, midnight Eastern in the States, and then the same time globally on PC, 9 p.m. Pacific and midnight Eastern, you're probably a few hours away from jumping in if you haven't done so already. So while you either wait in preparation for the game's launch or you want to take a break from a match or two, we're going to be jumping into some of the first content of many videos to come regarding Cold War. And in this one, I want to take some time to talk about the best ways to rank up in Black Ops Cold War, our sort of annual guide to gain traction in the ranks. As we go along, let me know your thoughts down below. If you have any suggestions and tips that you'd like to share to rank up, feel free to. We can make this a sort of communal hub for all tips to rank up faster. As well, if you are new to the channel, do be sure to hit the subscribe button, especially if you're part of that nearly 64% of viewers not subscribed. Not only are we on that road to 400,000 subscribers, but we'll keep you up to date with the very best and anything you need to know in regards to Black Ops Cold War and its launch year. So if you're interested in joining the community, I'd love to have you. That said, let's talk about the best ways to rank up. With Black Ops Cold War, it's nice because similar to Modern Warfare, if you're not a fan of having to unlock things every time you're prestige, you actually only have to do it once. Level 1 to 55, your military ranks is something that I personally want to breeze through, so bear that in mind that if you're like me, you only have to do it once and you might want to do it as quick as possible. The seasonal prestiges to follow do not require you to go through that tedious nature of unlocking everything again, as they have in past Call of Duty games. Now let's talk about firstly the gameplay. In-game, the actual matches, how best can you rank up? What things should you be looking for, or what should you be consciously trying to go for? In terms of gameplay, there's a couple of standard things. Obviously, it comes down to firstly some of the modes you want to play here. Some reward more XP to players than other modes. TDM, while it is something that is very easy to warm up in, it's something that is just nice to pass the time with. It doesn't require you to stick around all that much. It also doesn't offer as much XP as, say, game modes like Domination, Hardpoint, Search and Destroy even. So whenever you have these modes like Domination, like Hardpoint, like Search and Destroy and others, make sure you're playing the objective as you're doing so. Domination and Hardpoint are probably two of the ones that I go to here in regular matches, in which Domination probably is the easiest to rank up in terms of XP yield, because you'll have things like your neutral flags that you can end up capturing. You can overtake an enemy flag, which gives you more XP out of that. Plus, if you are getting kills on top of all of that, either you're attacking an objective or defending one, that gives you bonus XP on top of all of that. So while on an individual scale, it doesn't seem like all that much, it adds up very quickly if you play for the objective and also try and slay out. One nice part about Black Ops Cold War is that we do have, similar to Ground War and Modern Warfare, not quite to the same scale, we have Combined Arms Domination. Combined Arms Assault is also a great game mode to play as well if you are playing that objective, staying on the assault points and getting the kills that you need to end up progressing your team a little forward in that. Once you do all that kind of stuff with the upped player counts, with the objective kills, playing the objective, you're going to start to chain together a ton of XP. Another new one to check out, and something that is new with Black Ops Cold War, is that of Fireteam Dirty Bomb. Now, we may see more Fireteam game modes here in the future, but for launch, we have Fireteam Dirty Bomb, which takes place on 2 larger maps, which sees you trying to collect uranium, deposit said uranium, and then set off dirty bombs all across the map, with your goal, of course, to get the target amount of score, but you end up gaining a ton of passive XP here in this. If you simply open up chests, if you simply collect uranium, if you deposit said uranium, if you trigger the dirty bomb, you end up getting XP here for that, which, when you think about how much uranium is simply just collected from opening caches and killing enemies, you're going to get a lot of XP just by simply walking in some cases. So that's something that is brand new here with Black Ops Cold War and is a new introduction to the game modes that you should definitely try out and definitely take advantage of for some XP yields. Back in previous games, for just sheer XP, Search and Destroy probably would have been one of the best modes that you could play here, but I think we played 1 or 2 games within Black Ops Cold War, and if you can play aggressively, you can get those kills. Yes, it is nice because you can get maybe a little more XP out of that, and if you play the objective for planting and defusing the bomb, it's nice, but for a lot of the time, it may be a slower pace or a more drawn out pace than that of, say, a domination match or another objective mode, just by simply calculating the score per minute. When we talk about matches also, one really big thing that is often overlooked because maybe a team is getting stomped and you just don't want to stay in there, but maybe there's like 20 seconds left in the match. If it comes down to that point, simply stay in the match. Match completion offers an XP bonus at the end of every match, so if you end up backing out early, you forfeit that, and therefore, again, even though it may seem minuscule, it starts to add up the more and more you play to it. One big thing that once you can start consciously going for it is a complete game changer, but it might not be something you think about immediately, is that of medals and MP. These actually offer up bonus XP. They have in the past and continue to do so within Black Ops Cold War, but if you look to get things like those headshots, point blank kills, double, triple triple or fury kills, Cold War looks to continue that cycle of offering up bonus XP for players that end up getting medals like that. So the more you can consciously go after these specialized things, the more XP yield you'll get. One of the best sets of medals to get, which happens to actually be a nice transition into the next topic or area of discussion to hit on for XP, are the streak medals. While your bloodthirsty and your merciless medals may not offer up as much XP in bonus as you'd like, things like your ruthless, your relentless, your brutals, and nuclears all offer up bigger XP yields. The more you can get those, and on a more frequent basis, the more and more XP you'll end up getting behind the scenes. And that brings me then to the next thing I want to talk about, is that of kill streaks. Black Ops Cold War really prioritizes kill streaks, whether it be gun streaks or in some regards with things like the bow, with things like the war machine. Those actually progress your actual streak as well and still count towards those overall streaks you get. So whenever you end up getting these streaks in Cold War, each milestone kill offers up a significant score bonus with each one earned. So 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and so on and so on. But that increase in score proportionately also awards more XP. So the higher streak you can end up getting, the more often you streak, the more XP you'll end up gaining, allowing you to rank up even faster. Now, somewhat outside of the gameplay itself, Black Ops Cold War is rife with challenges here once again, returning to a more so classic challenge system that we have in your barracks, with each challenge introducing the opportunity to get more and more XP, sometimes even having multiple tiers to said challenge, with each one incrementally getting higher with that XP yield. That simply rewards playing the game in a certain aspect, and a lot of the times you can do these maybe even without noticing. Another big thing here, which may actually reward you and how you feel about playing the game, is that of camo challenges. I personally love going for camo challenges. I'm going to be going for DM Ultra. We'll talk about camos either later on in the day, depending on when this video goes up, or it may already be on the channel already, and maybe even the Dark Aether camo. But along the way, you're going to need to get a lot of camos done in that regard. But each one, every time you unlock one, comes with an XP bonus. So that is 35 camos per weapon that you can end up getting, with 20 to 30 weapons to unlock and do all that for. So it really starts to add up. And that's something that I think one should definitely take advantage of. Now, talking about more challenges outside of this, and also capping off some of the organic stuff we'll talk about here, we'll talk about some exclusive stuff, which unfortunately exists here in just a second. But with Season 1 coming up in December, this is also going to introduce a new seasonal challenge system, where players will have the opportunity to unlock 2 sets of 20 calling cards each for multiplayer and for zombies across the span of 200 levels for each seasonal master prestige range. Every 10 levels, players will unlock a new challenge that, once completed, will give them a new calling card, but also a decent XP yield for a single challenge as well. So while that may not help immediately, later on down the line, it definitely can be beneficial. And speaking about seasonal items, one thing that caught my interest whenever I was taking a look at some of the after action reports in the games that I had played was that it mentioned that we had a 10% seasonal XP bonus, which right off the bat, we might not see this, but come later on with the introduction of Season 1, this may very well act similarly to how we saw with, say, a Battle Pass bonus, where it offers a little bit of XP for buying into Season 1 of the Battle Pass and other seasons to follow. So keep an eye out for that. That may help you in the future, again, as with seasonal challenges. The final thing we'll talk about today is unfortunately something exclusive to PlayStation users, either on PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5. This was revealed recently as part of the Sony and Activision agreements, in which every month there will be a 24-hour span where players on those platforms will have a double XP bonus for a short 24-hour window. There's also a PlayStation Party bonus for double weapon XP, though that might not necessarily be beneficial here to your overall rank. That's something that can be achieved also by simply just playing in a party of all PlayStation members. But for the time being, after playing a little bit of the game early here, having a little bit of hands-on time before launch, I wanted to give you guys some tips here on how best to rank up from how I saw it, how I got to rank up at our press event and the time we had to play there. So hopefully this helps you out in some way, shape, or form. Let me know your thoughts down below. Again, is there anything you'd add to this list, maybe subtract, whatever it is, feel free to let me know. Hopefully you enjoyed the video though. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below, and of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing. We're getting all things Black Ops Cold War, Warzone when applicable, and everything in between. We have a ton of stuff still coming up on deck, so make sure you stick it around the channel. Of course, we'll have a couple of videos going live throughout the day, so if you're interested, hit that subscribe button. If you also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected outside of YouTube. Practically live on both those. So if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. But all that said and out of the way, thank you guys all so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.